I am Ajibinto Drame, and this is QTV Midday News coming to you live from our studios on Keraba Avenue, and thanks for joining us. Our top stories. President Barrow has called on Gambians, including former President Yahya Jammeh, to advocate for sustainable peace and stability in the country while addressing huge rallies over the weekend at Fajekunda, Ibo Town and Bundung. Fateleku Muslim High School Charitable Organization on Saturday organized a forum on the Islamic perspective on election as a guide for voters in the upcoming presidential elections. The University of the Gambia, in partnership with the UNDP and the UN country team, on Monday organized a meeting to present the findings and recommendations of research on preventing electoral violence in the Gambia. Amnesty International's KMC chapter over the weekend organized a forum on ensuring peace during and after elections. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, addressing huge rallies over the weekend at Fajekunda, Ibo Town and Bundung on diverse issues of national interest, President Barrow called on Gambians, including former President Yahya Jammeh, to advocate for sustainable peace and stability in the country. Aliou Cisse is covering the President's tour, and he now reports.
Addressing diverse issues of national interest at well-attended political rallies in Fajekunda on Saturday, the first in the country municipality, and Ibo Town and Bundung on Sunday night, President Barrow clarified that he is not an enemy with former President Yahya Jammeh, but that they were just political opponents, which for him was over after the 2016 election. President Barrow told the Fajekunda meeting, where the Jammeh-founded APRC has a strong support base, that he continues to accord Yahya Jammeh the respect of a former president, just as he did for the late Sadaro Kairaba Jawara. While reminding ex-President Jammeh that he is not the only former president around the world, President Barrow said he wants Jammeh's utterances and actions as a former president to advocate peace and stability in the country. He recalled how Yahya Jammeh desperately used the president of Equatorial Guinea and other heads of state to ask for his help to accept and facilitate the return of his mother's body to the Gambia, who had died in Equatorial Guinea, for a befitting burial, something Jammeh had denied Gambians, including Buba Bande, Fede Makalo, and Kwesamba Sanyang. President Barrow renewed his call for social cohesion post the election.
Munna am bokkuñ xalaat bokkuñ gis-gis waaye sun dëkk bi ñun ñoo ko bokka mooy Gambia, ñun ñoo bokka Gambia. kon ñu ngi ñaan président Jammeh lu mo wax fi na nekk jàmm, lu mo def fi na nekk jàmm pour Gambia lu yóbbu Gambia si kanam. looloo tax ba tey lu moo def nii yëpp on principle I have nothing against Yahya Jammeh. looloo tax lu mu wax man duma si dee mer.
He reveals that work on a new road is about to commence, which will link Sankosila Johnson to Abuko through Ibo Town and Fajekunda. He also expressed his desire to replicate the Banjo rehabilitation project in the Kanifing municipality in order to modernize the region. On the claims that prices of basic commodities have risen under his government, the NPP-led coalition candidate said his government has made great efforts to bring the prices down. However, he said the permanent solution to the problem is for Gambians to start growing what they eat.
Man bes ma nekk président saaku sukur 1800 la biir Gambia fii ñun ñoo ko wàcce woon ba mu woon dem 1200 1250 balaa Covid bi ñëw am na maalo bu demoon ba $1000 si biir Gambia fii waaye coronavirus dafa affect adduna bi yëpp. man maa nekk président farine bi nekkoon na 1400 1500 foofu la farine bi nekkoon ñun wàccee woon ne ko ba farine bi dem 800 and something dollars. coronavirus bu mu ñëwee loolu moo affect ba flour bi ñëwaat almost the same price waat. kon aduna mooy doxee noonu waaye benn affaire la waa Gambia ni war a def. ñun ñu ngi bugg ñu dugal suñu loxo si mbéy mi te door nañ ko lu ñoo lekk foog ñu béy ko suñ buggee suñ dunda bi mu yomba ñun nag am nañ ay projet yu mag bugg nañ balaa juróomi at maalo bu ñoo lekk Gambia yëpp mu nekk made in the Gambia.
He shared with the people that talks are at an advanced stage with investors from Brazil who are keen on investing in sugar production in the Gambia. Skills training and youth empowerment, he said, remain high on his agenda, citing the Youth Enterprise Fund initiated by the Youth Ministry. He denied claims that he approved the deportation of Gambians, acknowledging the key contribution of diaspora Gambians to the socio-economic development of the country. At the rallies, the people, including alcalos of these constituencies and NPP constituency executive members, promised their support for the president next Saturday when Gambians vote for a president. They are confident of a landslide victory. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Fateleku Muslim High School Charitable Organization on Saturday organized a forum on the Islamic perspective on elections as a guide for voters in the upcoming presidential elections. Mobdullah Michoy has more.
It is 5 days until the presidential elections when Gambians will be making the big decision on who to entrust the affairs of the country in the next 5 years. The guest speaker at this Islamic conference is Dr. Omar Jah, an Islamic scholar. Dr. Jah lectures on Islamic perspective on elections as a religious guide to the upcoming elections. He reminds people that voting must not be seen as a customary activity, but a devotional act for a country's development.
Who provide the environment, the oxygen, the health for him to go is Allah. Then he should not really make that activity just customary activity. He should turn it into a devotional act by making sure now that this vote is a trust from Allah. And the individual that you put it for must be an individual who will be beneficial for the society, who will do justice to the society, but who will especially do justice to your religion. Why? Because it is your responsibility to make sure that when you die, when Allah asks you, okay, where did you put your vote? You can answer a correct answer. Otherwise, you will be in definitely trouble.
Voters are therefore tasked to be constructive at the polls in the best interest of society and religion. Dr. Jah explains what must guide the decision of voters at the ballots.
When you now understand your candidate, that he is able to put together a program to put the fundamentals of development, will make Gambia of 2022 and 2023 different in terms of welfare, in terms of religious tolerance, in terms of sovereignty, Allah's sovereignty. Because as a Muslim, the first target is to make sure now that the one who is coming is not going to harm the religion. Allah is the sovereign. And I think the understanding of Allah being sovereign in 2021 in the Gambia will be improved by the candidate that I'm going to choose.
As we head to the polls, we are taking decision on behalf of the present and future generations. The Islamic scholar highlights the qualities we should pursue from an Islamic perspective when casting our ballot in the elections.
He should be aware of the geopolitical, not only regional geopolitics, but the global geopolitics. He should be someone who has the ability for self-control. Because as a leader, you are given the real power from Allah. And when you should have mercy, even after getting elected, you should have mercy to the subjects, because the one who put you there, Allah, can also pull you out of there all the time. You should have mercy. And you should avoid corruption, nepotism, favoritism, to understand that the country belongs to the people. You are only a servant, but not a master.
The conference brought together former Muslim high school students and others to gather knowledge from Dr. Omar Jah's lecture. Fateleku Muslim High School is a Wolof phrase we translate in English as Remembering Muslim High School. As a charity organization, it hosts an annual conference of this nature, although not in the past year due to the coronavirus pandemic. This year's conference and topic come at a time voter education about elections is much needed as the race to the State House reaches its climax. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Moving on, the University of the Gambia, in partnership with UNDP and the UN country team, on Monday organized a meeting to present the findings and recommendations of research on preventing electoral violence in the Gambia, actors, issues, and mitigating strategies. More in this report. The presentation of the research findings and recommendation is also to spread the messages of peace to the university students and the public, to reinforce peace messages on political tolerance and non-violence towards a free, inclusive, credible and peaceful election in the Gambia. Professor Pierre Gomez, acting Vice-Chancellor of the UTG, urges the public, especially youth, not to join the bandwagon in putting the country into chaos as Gambians head to the polls.
Despite our political differences, we are Gambians, and whoever we elect in the upcoming election, the person becomes a president for all of us and could only serve us well if we live in peace and not in pieces. I repeat, if we live in peace and not in pieces. The next president will be the president of the Republic of the Gambia. So allow your brother, allow your sister to vote for whoever he or she wants to vote for.
Speakers from international organizations urge the youth, political leaders and the public to be tolerant and avoid violence to ensure the maintenance of peace before, during and after elections. Here is Saturday, the UNDP country representative.
The university is a space for reflection, is a space of thinking forward, is a space for the next generation of Gambians to embrace all the new Gambia that they want and the people want. So we are talking about peace because without peace there's no way for development. Without peace there's no way for stability. Without peace there's no way for gender equality and the achievement of the 17 Sustainable Development Goal and the Agenda 2030.
Manding Sedikan, representing the Minister of Interior, says social media platforms can be enablers for misinformation, hate speeches and sensational reporting, which may ignite conflict and pose a danger to the peace of the nation.
Please remember that electoral violence are triggers of disrespect for the law, for the rule of law, misconduct, and brutalities that are not within the confines of the national as well as the electoral laws and regulations. Therefore, the roles of the university students population is vital in this respect for dissemination of useful information about peace and security during and after election.
The research findings showed that participants expressed fear about the possibility of violence. However, they also expressed optimism about the peaceful nature of Gambians. It further finds that ethnicity and ethnic identity is fast becoming a political tool, deployed for the mobilization of electorates by leadership of political parties. Also, the study recommended that religious leaders be agents to preach peace. Party leaders should be cautious of what they say, and the IEC should do everything possible to ensure they conduct a free election, among others. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News. And from that story, we will go for a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more stories, too. Stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
2,221,301 Gambians. 7 administrative areas. 53 constituencies. 1,554 polling stations, 962,157 registered voters, 6 presidential candidates. One State House. Who wins the seat? Decision 2021. only on QTV and Q Radio.
Welcome back. Now, Amnesty International's KMC chapter over the weekend organized a forum on ensuring peace during and after elections. This comes as the Gambia go to the polls on December 4th. Fatusi Sanyang reports.
The event began with a march past from Alliance Française to the Youth Monument at Westville. It brought together youths who constitute about 60% of the Gambia's population to discuss peace. Mohamed Haidara, the president of Amnesty International's KMC chapter, expressed gratitude to his fellow youth in their advocacy for peace.
These have really shown that how committed we are and how we the youths are in line to make sure that we promote peace, love, harmony in this beautiful country. Our manifesto of this peaceful march have really shown that we are together in this effort to show all political parties, to show all our parents, to show all people of this citizen that peace is the only way forward that can move this country ahead. We as a Gambian, we are here before any other political party. Then we must remain here forever as Gambians, as our only tribe, our only political party, our only entity.
Amil Jaite, the coordinator of Amnesty International's KMC chapter, explains the importance of the peaceful march.
We've seen that there are a lot of issues that are going on in this country. Some are mainly caused by the electorates and some are caused by the political leaders themselves. So we saw it that it is necessary that we preach our peace to the people, to talk to our countrymen, that the Gambia is bigger than any of the political parties that we have, that they cannot disunite us and they cannot destabilize us. Let them talk to their electorates. Let us share the message of peace in the country so that the election will come and go and the Gambia will remain what it is.
Mohamed Ngalo, a student at the UTG, gave a piece of advice to his fellow youths.
My simple advice is, don't allow politicians to use you. Don't tribalize politics, because this politics is a politics that will come and go. It's just a matter of months, and we vote in somebody, and after voting in that person, we, the same Gambia, will stay and we work as a nation. So don't cause any chaos in this country for the sake of politics. Let's unite as Gambians and work together in achieving our goal.
Aminata Krubali, head girl of Masru Senior Secondary School, also has this to say.
Election will come and go, and the Gambia will remain. So we please stay out of politics, and if it is necessary to participate, we go and cast our votes, because our votes will count and our votes will have an effect in the nation. So we vote wisely. Let us not vote due to racism, favoritism or nepotism. We vote according to the agendas that are for the benefit of the Gambia.
It is essential that young people are engaged in formal political processes and have a voice, especially when it comes to peace matters. Inclusive political participation is not only a fundamental and democratic right, it is also crucial to building stable and peaceful societies.
There is no election without electorates. Tenañu baxantel, def ñu war, baña ngiro ka ngaño te nga xam sa waref, jëf sa jëf. For
QTV News, I am Fatusi Sanyang.
Away from elections, let's go now to VSG, a group of organizations from Netherlands, Germany and Belgium, in partnership with a local organization, Land to Land, on Sunday celebrated their 5th anniversary in Tangi Village. Here is Mobudu Gajaga.
Celebrating with the team empowerment, capacity and ownership. VSG and Learn to Learn came together to reflect on their achievements in the previous years. Both organizations' drive is to empower youth through education, health and agriculture. Yip Sise, chairperson of VSG, explains.
We are an association that unites all different Dutch-speaking foundations in the Gambia. So we have over 120 members, and it all involves different foundations that are working in healthcare, education, agriculture, youth empowerment. So in a a lot of different areas. So what we basically do is we create a platform where all these foundations can come together, share knowledge, share experience. We involve their local partners to see how we can enhance those, the partnerships between them.
A local youth organization, Learn to Learn, aims to enhance capacity building, skills acquisition, and agriculture. Tanje is a coastal community, and the organization aims to tap into the opportunities in the fishing industry. Bakari Kujabi, chairperson of Learn to Learn, talks about their partnership with VSG.
This is the first time we are partnering with them to do this with them, to allow them to celebrate their first 5 years of existence in the Gambia. But looking at the way they coined the theme, it is with hope that I believe there is a lot for the youths to gain from the theme. When it comes to implementation and the realization of the theme itself, I believe there is a lot that the youths can gain from it.
Education is key to changing many lives, especially the youth, and VSG invests in education, supporting several students and institutions, including the Gambia College. Abubakar Jallo, the principal of Gambia College, acknowledged VSG's support.
They have been contributing to the Gambia College, both in terms of human and material resources. And we also engage them in an MOU where there have been exchange of both students and staff from the Gambia to the Netherlands and from the Netherlands to the Gambia.
As part of the celebrations, a masquerade known as Kumpo displayed its talent in dancing accompanied with pulsating rhythm from drummers. Mumudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Now, the University of the Gambia Debate Association organized the Vice Chancellor National Debate and Public Speaking Championship, which brought students from all regions to express their opinions on national issues. Zainab Haidara tells us more.
The topics for this year's debate association centered on security and peace establishment, good governance and elections, as young people are the key beneficiaries of decision-making and national development. Lagami Gumane, the outgoing president of the 10th Executive Council of the Debate Association, says they have played their role effectively by fulfilling their promises.
So when we came into council, we realized that the dream was to decentralize it. But it was not just to decentralize for decentralizing's sake. It was to make sure that the students themselves feel that the competition is decentralized. And that is why we made mention that you cannot have a separate championship for those in the rural Gambia and have a separate championship for those in the urban Gambia and call it a decentralized championship. It is not decentralized.
Yankuba A. Drame, the Chief of Defense Staff, underscores why the team, Shaping the Future We Want, discourse for sustainable peace and prosperity is apt and relevant.
Peace, security, and sustainable development. And we'll come to that. Today, when we discuss the issue of sustainable development, it cannot be achieved in the absence of peace and security. Peace and security are prerequisites for societal cohesion and sustainable national development. In other words, you cannot talk of peace and security, or you cannot talk of meaningful development in any context in the absence of peace and security.
Ibrahim Jallo, the Director of Standardization at the Gambia Standards Bureau, says they have done a lot for the University of the Gambia and they will continue to do more.
On a final note, I will assure you that the Gambia Standards Bureau will open all its doors to the university students for internship. And currently, if we should have students from the sciences, from School of Medicine and Allied Health, where I hail from other schools, I don't want to miss names, but biology, physics, chemistry, the sciences, if we should have some students or fresh graduates who should send applications for internship, I assure you of our due consideration.
The winners of the Vice Chancellor's National Debate and Public Speaking Championship in the secondary schools category was Can 8 Senior Secondary School of Bruford, while the School of Social Sciences and Humanities Students Association won the public speaking competition. The Education Students Association won the tertiary debate competition. Winners in all categories receive full scholarships to pursue a degree at the university. For QTV News, I am Zainab Haidara.
Before we end, here's a recap of our main headlines. President Barrow has called on Gambians, including former President Yahya Jammeh, to advocate for sustainable peace and stability in the country while addressing huge rallies over the weekend at Fajakunda, Ibo Town and Bundung. Fateleko Muslim High School Charitable Organization on Saturday organized a forum on the Islamic perspective on elections as a guide for voters in the upcoming presidential elections. The University of the Gambia, in partnership with UNDP and the UN country team on Monday, organized a meeting to present the findings and recommendations of research on preventing electoral violence in the Gambia. Amnesty International's KMC chapter over the weekend organized a forum on ensuring peace during and after elections. Well, that's it from me in today's Midday News. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.